guarantee when the electrician came to do this work, he said to himself, what do I got to make it look good for? Nobody's going to see this up on this roof. Well, like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel, and a lot of people are going to see this. Hey everyone, so I'm out on a job site today. We're going to be looking at these ductless HVAC mini split install that just occurred here recently. And this is a good example of when you have a HVAC contractor that comes in and does a real nice job, and the electrical contractor comes in and butchers it. Now, a job like this, a commercial building, most certainly probably had permits pulled, and you could definitely tell by the quality of the work that from the roofing contractor and the HVAC contractor that, you know, they're trying to do the right thing, and most likely permits are pulled. They're going to get an inspection, so they want it to look good, they want it to be right. But if you take a look at what the electrician did here, I mean, it's just a disaster. Now, the HVAC contractor, I like what they did with their line sets here. They ran it into this pitch pocket or pipe portal, and they went through individually with each pipe so they could get a real nice seal on it, and it's on a sidewall, so you don't have to worry about water coming down and sitting anywhere. It's going to fall, it's going to run off. They sealed up around the connections, and these connections are probably pretty tight. I definitely like how they did that. Each one is like that, and it's nice that, you know, they just one roof penetration. I know it's a larger penetration, but one roof penetration, and all their pipes went through that. Now you can also see the roofers did a good quality job here too. Put some roof rails in for these units, and HVAC contractor made sure they secured them down and even silicone the screws to make sure no water is going to leak. So those rails are definitely the way you want to do it on a rooftop. If you get a wind, especially with them being fastened, get a wind, a storm, or a hurricane come through, you know, most likely they're not going to go anywhere. Now you can see what the electrician did. Just used soft liquid tight or seal tight conduit and barely even supported it. You got one coming from here going all the way to that unit, one going from that to this unit, so something got crossed and they didn't even bother trying to attempt to make it look better. Now, you know, it's drooping onto the floor now. As far as the electrical code, I'm not sure if that's up to par. It just looks like shit, I know that. You can see here they didn't even use clamps on some of this stuff, and I always like to put a little extra silicone on anything coming through here. Looks like they cut this one too big and had to tighten the hell out of it to make it tight and seal up. Over here, the same thing. We got two spots where hose clamps are needed and they didn't use them. You know, there's no way to get these up and nice and straight when you're using this type of seal tight. So they came out of here, put one screw over there and ran it to that far unit. Here they put the switch box for the power disconnect right on the side, and you know, this stuff's pretty, I mean, it's got some flex to it, but as the HVAC service contractor, sometimes we need to get into this panel. This comes off, you just pop that screw and our service line connection is there. So if we need to troubleshoot or if we're doing any type of work, we usually need to get into that. So it's going to be a little hard to access our service area with their seal tight like that. It's not impossible, but it's just another obstacle for us. It looks like they did that on all of them. Yep. Now, this is just a a good example of, you want to make sure you know what contractors you're using. And sometimes these commercial projects that goes out to bid, and whoever bids on it, they award the bid, and it's not necessarily like this HVAC contractor probably didn't use somebody that they normally would use. It was whoever the company that put it out to bid just selected. So, it's really, as an individual contractor, you should strive to do the best work possible. and your craftsmanship and your workmanship is it should be stamped in everything you do. So I mean, this is really just the only people you could blame here is the electricians, the way they ran this. They really, I mean, if I was an electrician, I would have ran all this in rigid pipe, at least to a certain extent. Come up out of the pipe portals with some rigid pipe, go to some unistrut to support it if you need it, and then finish it with seal tight, and maybe build something to mount the disconnect on instead of going right there with it. But a lot of guys, they work on so much different stuff that it takes them a while before they realize what's the best way to do it, or they just don't care. I don't know. But like I said, I just want to show you this, guys. Good example of, you get an HVAC contract, does a great job. Roofing contract does a great job. Electrician comes in to finish it off, and they did a crap job. So I'm going to keep looking for more hacks and expert work out there, and I'm going to keep posting videos on it. You guys got any questions or comments on this? Just let me know, and remember to like, subscribe to the video, and keep an eye out for more videos to come. So I had a couple final thoughts on this. I was looking at it a little more, and it really wouldn't have been even that hard to make what they did here look a little bit better. They did crisscross a few things that they would have to, like for instance, this one, they went under here with it. If they just brought it over, they could have zip tied it along the line set, cleaned it up like that. Same thing with this could have gotten zip tied to there. These pipes, these conduits here, if they were a little bit longer, they could have brought them over, zip tied them, clamped them neatly. Same thing with this, brought it over here, zip tied along the line. So that's a lot of times what the people will do. They'll use the refrigeration pipes as their supports. Now, it's kind of a little bit of a cheating method way to do it, but at least it looks better. Be honest with you, it wouldn't have looked that much better. I'd probably still be making this video, but it definitely wouldn't be this bad. I mean, this literally, I walked away and I was like, I gotta take another video because this is terrible. I don't know who would put their name on something like this. And my only guess is when they roughed the electrical, maybe this is the conduit they left up here, and they didn't have extra to do what I'm saying with. They couldn't get it over there to zip tie it there. They would have had to put a junction box somewhere, and it's just either they didn't have the material, they didn't want to go get it, they were too lazy. I mean, probably they're just being too lazy, and that's really the end of the day. I mean, for them to not even use zip ties and just use a piece of wire that they had lying around as a zip tie, that just shows you that, every electrician, every HVAC contractor, almost every contractor has zip ties somewhere in their truck. I probably have 2,000 of them, different colors, different shapes, sizes. And they were just too lazy to go down the roof hatch, go down the stairs, go out to their truck, and come back in and get it, So, I just wanted to leave off with that. And if you guys are hiring people to work in your house and somebody's leaving something like this, ask questions. Go, how come this is not so neat? Why is this not supported? I mean, I know a lot of people might not understand how electrical and HVAC and all that stuff, what it should look like, how it should work, but generally everything should look neat. It should look clean. So if it's not neat and it's not clean, you should ask questions. And if you're there when the inspector comes out, ask them, hey, is this good? Is this, even if it passes code, does it mean that it's good? It meets the standard based on what is legal, but does it look good compared to other jobs you've been out on? It can't hurt to ask questions, whether it's the contractor, the construction official from the town. It will go a long way, and then you could tell them, hey, I want you to fix this before you make your final payment, and then you'll never get them back there once you make your final payment. So just some food for thought. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and to demand better. Tell people that, no, this looks like crap. I don't care if it works. I want it to look better. So I'm going to sign off with that, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.